What's going on? It's February 25th, and here are the picks of the day. I'm going to be looking at NBA today just because we have so many games on the book, and the strategy that I'm going to use is reverse line movement. So before I get into today's picks, I want to take a quick peek at our games from the last 2 days of betting. So I didn't have any picks yesterday, but on Friday we placed these 4 right here, and 3 of them won, only 1 lost, and that was the Bucks Timberwolves game. I had the over chosen. And the only reason it lost was because the Timberwolves scored only 13 points in the third quarter. So if they performed even a little bit better, it would have been a clean sweep. But, I guess this just goes to show that not every single pick is going to be a winner. But this strategy does work in the long term if you stick with it. So with that being said, let's talk about today's games. So I mentioned earlier how I'm going to be using reverse line movement. If you haven't heard of it before, check out the description. I'm going to put a little summary there that really describes how reverse line movement works, but also just keep watching because I'm going to explain how it works as I go. So let's take this first game, for example, which is going to be the Thunder versus the Rockets. This game opened up at over under 235, and then 65% of the betting volume went towards the over. And then the line moved down to 233.5. And so if people were already choosing the over at 235, then why would the line drop? It's almost backwards, and that doesn't make sense. Well, the reason that happens is because the sharps have money on this game. And the sharps are essentially the knowledgeable big money bettors, and they're almost like the industry experts of the sport. And bookmakers know exactly who these people are, and they value the sharps picks over the public pick because they think that, okay, it's the more knowledgeable group, they probably know more about the game than just the public. And so reverse line movement like this happens whenever there's a difference of opinion. If the public really likes one outcome, but then the sharps really like the other outcome, then that's when you're going to see something like this, where the line starts to move backwards. And essentially what the bookmaker is doing is they're thinking, okay, if the sharps think that the game is going to go under, then why don't we lump together all the public that we can into the over. That way, if the sharp does win, then we don't have to pay out 65% of the bettors. We only have to pay out 35%. So it ends up being sort of like a profit move. So now that you know how it works, it's really easy to spot these, and they happen a lot more often than you think. And so whenever you have an instance like this, your best bet is to go with the sharps. And so for this game, I would go with the under. So now that you know how reverse line movement works, I'm going to go through the rest of today's picks. Before I do, just be sure to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm going to be bringing you these picks 4 to 5 times a week, so be sure to subscribe, and let's go to game number 2. So the second game is going to be Hornets versus Trailblazers. This game opened up at over under 219, and then 67% of the betting volume went towards the over, and then they moved the line down to 215. And so if people were already picking the over at 219, then, they're definitely going to pick it at 215. They're going to think it's a great deal. They're going to put more money in here. But the sharps have money on the under. And so for this game, I would go with the under. And then the last game today, it's going to be the Kings versus Clippers. So this game opened up at over under 237.5. And then 67% of the betting volume, the public betting volume, went towards the under. And then they moved the line up to 239. So if people already loved the under at 237, then they're going to hammer away at 239, and that just means that the sharps are picking the over, but the bookmakers want everybody to pick this outcome, and they're going to adjust the line so that the under looks really, really appealing. So for this game, I'm going to go with the over. These lines are going to change so much throughout the day. So, at some point you might have a good value bet, but then if you wait long enough, it might adjust to the point where it's no longer an advantage, then it's just a bad bet. So be careful when you place it. I guess use your best discretion. I like to do this on over-unders just because I can get it pretty close to even money. Sometimes when I'm like placing the bet, sometimes I'll tease it, so I'll get it towards, minus 130, minus 140. But honestly, if you can get something like this with even money, then it's just more profit for you. So these are all the NBA reverse line movement picks for today. I didn't see any more that I liked. So that's going to wrap it up for me. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.